It's good to get together with you again, Jerry. I always enjoy talking with you. And I thought today we might talk about membership again and the challenge of helping people actually experience membership, come into membership. And this is something that I spend a lot of time on. In terms of consciousness, when awareness is only in the, let's call it the strategic mind, the linear mind, when awareness is only in that part of our neurophysiology, we actually cannot perceive connections. We perceive one thing against another. And in terms of our neurophysiology, to experience membership, we have to actually practice sensing the world around us. We have to take our attention off the to-do list and the strategic plans and step out into nature and smell a tree, something like that. Mm-hmm. Really, the oldest exercises have to do with being in nature and experiencing through the senses without thinking, without language. But how do you take that to a boardroom? And how do we make these shifts in society? And I know you've got a lot of insights and thoughts about these things.
It's interesting. It's like companies should hold their board meetings in the woods. They should, you know, the board should meet and go camping for a day or two, and then start talking about business, and make sure that a couple people from the local neighborhood are actually included in the meetings, so that somebody who's grounded is actually present and involved. It's funny, as we're talking a bit about membership versus ownership, and one thing that strikes me is that a lot of people think we're moving into an age of access, an age where things exist in services rather than as things we own. And there's a piece of this that I think is kind of detrimental, doesn't really fit what we're talking about, and another piece that might. The piece that I think is detrimental is really where the music business seems to be going, which is increasingly your music will just be stored in the cloud. You might pay some fixed amount or some ongoing amount for access to your music, and then you're just kind of paying that for having your music around. And maybe you can share your music, maybe you can't. There's still some barriers to all of that. But that feels like just you know, cloud versus on my hard drive or my memory chip nearby. But there's another piece that's going on right now, which is this resource sharing. Rachel Botsman's book, What's Mine Is Yours, Lisa Gansky's book, The Mesh. Really, people are beginning to figure out how to use the net to coordinate sharing of stuff, including, I've got an empty backyard. It has a couple of trees that bear fruit that I never harvest. You know, what if we did fruit exchanges and vegetable exchanges and this and that and the other? So there's a lot of people exploring that, which on the one hand is just the exchange of stuff, and maybe not so interesting, so I make some money by renting out my car or something. But on the other hand, drives us back into relationship and makes us understand our mutual reliance and makes us get that we're actually connected in different ways. And hey, these people live just around the block. Maybe we should get together and have margaritas. And I think those are the beginnings of a reawakening of membership in the greater commons, as opposed to ownership of stuff and, you know, whoever dies with the most toys wins.